Hello everybody, welcome to another day of Cosmoteer. Today what we're going to be looking at is a whole bunch of new community ships that was built by our very own people in our Discord channel. So, let's come over here to My Ships 2026. We have community. We do definitely have a lot of folders. We're going to make a brand new folder. We're going to call it number 15. Alright, the first ship that we have in here is two of them. It was built by Wayworn 9. So this ship right here, it says a starter drone cannon and one's a starter drone laser. Now these drones are meant to work as a fleet battle. So we're going to do 3 versus 1 just for right now, just so you can see what the first one does, the cannon. You can see there's a tons of point defenses on it. He's got storage. He's got ammo factories. Very nicely done, honestly. How many crew members does this require? 40? 40 crew members to get this to pilot. You can see that the point defenses are helping to defend, even with 3 of them firing at it. The point defenses are helping to cover from different sides. So that's pretty good. My son's asking me a question. Hold on a moment. Right, let me come over here and let's take these ones off. Let's do a laser one. I want to see how this lasers one do. Now, cannon ones, I've given my own personal opinion on that one. Let's restart and swap. Cannon ones can definitely be strong if the other team doesn't have a lot of point defenses. Now, these ones is lasers, and they have overclocked lasers, it looks like. So you have overclock heavy laser, 2 overclock small lasers, and overclock disruptor on both sides with storage. How many people does it take to pilot this? Let me just double check. 40. Okay, no, the laser drone has 40. The cannon crew only takes 11. Was that 11 crew? Oh no, it takes 40 crew each. 40 crew on both sides. That's still kind of heavy, but I think this is actually wouldn't be that bad for a 40 crew ship. Something Nick. Hi all. I'll be disappointed if a few of my ships don't spontaneously explode. Those would be very interesting to see. Alright, I'm actually a little bit more interested in this laser one. What I want to see here is I want to take this one. This is a 34 cruise ship. I want to see... Now, yes, the 34 cruise ship does cost more, 517. This is a 40 cruise ship. This one has way more point defenses. I like the shield cover. Very interesting placement of cockpit. I like that he has a manipulator beam on this. He's got a hyperdrive. Okay, that was my one concern. So this one you can see is super tanky in the front, has the speed and everything. This one does have the point defenses, but for more crew, it can't tank straight down the middle like this one can for nukes and everything else. But this is still a really cool idea. I love this idea. So pretty neat. That's what I want to... So I know I don't even know if I put this mini tank in the chat. I did 3.1. 3.4 is the newer one. Let me pull... Where's live stream ships? I'm just going to dump this in here so that... No, I can't drag and drop. I'm over here trying to drag and drop from the wrong thing. Give me a moment. I'm going to put it in our Discord channel. Damn. Just so that people can be aware of. If I'm looking for 34 crew, I'm looking for something better than this ship right here, this 34 crew ship. So I would be very, very interested for somebody to see, to make something better than that one. All right, we're in folder 15. Let me come back over here to this one. All right, the next ship we have in here was built by Something Nick. This is Become the Ammo. It says, I don't think this is, I think this is a fun ship. All right. Ah, okay, so it's shaped as a bullet. And I'm assuming, if you look in it, there's these 2 detonators. So you select the detonator, you can see it's already on fire. And you get close enough, and then you self-detonate. Hold on, we gotta see if this actually works. Become the bullet. Become the bullet. Alright, take 4 of those guys versus 1 cannon. One of the lasers is trapped behind the Heavy laser for the laser drill. That's good to know. Alright, so these are bullets. Is there... Did you hotkey number 1? He did. Alright, I don't... Well, I can see it took out 1 right here. I'm sure they work better on bigger ships, but you can see the bullet took out this. So... we have something bigger to test this first. Let's try that. Alright, select all the bullets. Pick number 1. And what I want to do is I want to self-detonate them like this. Okay, it didn't do what I was hoping it would do. It took some damage right here. Let's try that one more time. I might be doing it wrong. Something that can correct me if I'm wrong. Select that guy. These guys. Come on. Alright, obviously you gotta be right next to the guy. The point nose doesn't really help. It's built shaped for the funnies. Okay, yeah. That's what I was assuming. But it's a neat idea, a self-exploding reactor. Alright, this next one is, and I don't think this one's showcased as well in here, because this is just a ship that flies around, but it's beautifully painted. This is part of the thumbnail. This is Object 1337. Now, I did take the time to actually look at it just before the live stream, because I was wondering if it had any combat capabilities. It does have point defenses, as you can see. But what happens is, this was the same idea that I think Ghost was building with that crystal idea. Is that crystal idea? But I think Something Nick took it another step further, where the reactor has no heat cooling at all. So eventually, Object 1337, beautifully painted like transport ship is what it looks like, does eventually just explode. He even has ammo here on purpose so that the whole thing explodes in the back. But it actually does fly. I didn't test it versus itself. It flies decently. It flies over 90. Again, beautifully painted. I actually was going to comment saying that why doesn't he have a hyper beacon or anything like that? But because it self-explodes on purpose, I guess there's no reason to have that. But there's the Object 1337. Again, beautifully painted. I like the time you took to paint that. I could even see that in the actual game. I like if the developer ever sees that. That's a great paint job. Alright. Something Nick also made another one. This is Fugel. Fugel? What's a Fugel? Fugel? It's a ramming, black cannon, shields, disruptors. What? It's definitely pulling on a lot of heat, but it's stopping a lot of everything versus itself. Eventually, I think it's going to overheat. Just because of how much it's taking all the shields and everything. But tankability-wise, okay, this is not a fair fight versus itself like that. Let's take something else. I don't even know what's worth it. Let's see about this. Alright. How does this perform as a rammer? Fugel is a repost to deal with that ship name bug. Even if it's a repost, look at what it can do. Is it still taking this frontal heat? Remember, this thing has 3 heat. But the main reason why the heat's not hitting it is because of all the flat cannons. And the flat cannons are also going on the offensive too. What's this ship doing? Okay, this ship's not overheating at all. So eventually it's just going to eat away the armor. Where this ship, I think, is going to have heat problems. Yeah, we're having heat problems already. With the amount of heat, because it's heat on non-heat. This one's got 3 heat beams. And now we're losing because it's just the heat alone. But I think this ship would work really decently against non-heat ships if you're ramming them. I'm wondering, will this ship even work against... here's the one I'm thinking about. It's in-game ship, built-in ship, IO, and I'm thinking of One Eye built-in the AIM. Can you stop AIM? So you can see very similar crew count. Cost-wise, it's more expensive, but what I want to see is, can you tank an AIM? Can you reach him? And it looks like you can. Okay, so he catches up to the AIM. He's tanking the aim base value front. Okay, we lost a shield. We're dealing heat damage now. But you took on the aim, but you sustained heavy damage right here. And you're on fire here and fire back here. So the heat-wise, you disabled the aim's main capability instead of the flat cannons, but you lost. So something like if you're going to build this ship to be better in any way, I would do that test right there. Take an aim and beat the aim in full without losing any parts of your ship. That would be successful in my eyes. And then the next step, if you wanted to take it even further, is you take a Thanatos. And Thanatos obviously costs way more. If you can take an aim, you should be able to take a Thanatos right down the middle. Now that's a lot harder to do. As you see, the Thanatos has 6 overclock rail guns, right? And you can see the Thanatos just chops this guy right in half. Yeah, without a problem. He's already disabled. So that would be my suggestion if you're trying to make this ship any better. Those would be the 2 tests. Alright, let's go on to the next ship. Come over here, 2026. We are in Community, folder number 15. The next one we have was built by Hochel. This is AC-50B2. This was remade the version of 50 old crew ship with overclock. So when we mean by 50 crew overclock ship remade, it's probably not best to test it against that one, but test it against their original. So he remade this ship. This was the first example. We already showed the 54 crew in the actual No Pause Admiral Engage, but I'm sure this was the first version he made because this was back in March 7th or so. And so this was his first iteration of the remade ship. You can see he painted it and everything. A remake of this ship. And you can see overclock just alone with the overclock and everything else on it. It's already doing better than the original 50. The cost-wise obviously shoots up significantly, right? 516,000. Not even including this 516,000 or however much it is. Doesn't include the research costs, right? Doesn't include researching overclocked heavy lasers. Doesn't include researching whatever else is overclocked on this actual ship. Thrusters, obviously, and very likely engine rooms as well. Is the engine room overclocked? No, it's not. Okay, so the engine room's not overclocked, but just all these thrusters are overclocked. And then you have to overclock all the point defenses. So the cost is a lot more than 522, 350. But this one costs a lot less. You can build it right off in the beginning of the game without having to research all of this, overclock small lasers, overclock heavy lasers, and everything else. But you can see much, much better. Anyways, I just wanted to showcase where that one actually originally came from. Alright, 2026. We are in Community, folder number 15. The next ship we hear is an older version of... Oh, maybe this is an older version of a different one. Maybe it's a different one. Okay, I'm lying. This is the original of where it came from, as look like you said. And then he overclocked this one. That's where it came from. Beautiful paint job, Hochel, whenever you see this. I know you're sleeping right now. He's in Korea. So it's really, really late at night for them right now. Still, really, really cool. Oh, the original is actually doing not bad versus the overclocked one. What's up, Lucky Loser? What's up, guys? Lucky Loser said. Very, very nice ship. I like both of them. Well, overclock one still completely dominated the non-overclock one, but that's pretty cool. Thanks for showing us that one. So I got it wrong. Alright, another remake of the original version. This is the ship of the mining laser. So he has 2 of them. So he has... Did I grab the wrong? Okay, so this one and then this one. So one is the original and one is overclock. So 50 and then 52 crew. So here's the original mining laser version. You can see it has 5 mining lasers. And this is the overclock version. You can see it only has 4 mining lasers because of space-wise. But now we have overclocked small lasers. We have overclocked mining lasers. And you can see it's the mining lasers obviously have a heavier beam on them. This is a nice ship. Interesting change of the thruster, so it compacts the back more. You can see overclock version is much more compact. He doesn't have to put in all these capacitors for the point defenses. Point defenses can just stay overclocked. And eventually the overclock one is going to outdamage the non-overclock one, but both of these ships are actually very viable. I'm liking the layer stacking of the shield. So you look at this, he has 3 smaller shields, and he fixed the problem that I always had a concern about for the 50 cruise ships. So he has, this one's a little staggered back, this one's staggered forward, and then this one's facing innards. And this is always a problem that I had with the middle. It didn't have shield cover down the middle as much. See, this one has that same layer stacking, but it's reversed. See, this one's closer, this one's outer. But this one, if you're going to take any idea from this ship, or at least from my want to take from it, is I like this shield and head armor right here. That right there is really a fix that I've always wanted, and he has it right here in this ship right here. I like that a lot. I like it so much that I need to make sure that this makes it into a folder. Otherwise, I am going to forget about it. This needs to make it... This needs to make it... And it's on folder already. Folder number 6. This needs to make it there. Okay, put it there. Let's go on to the next one. Really like that idea. That's a really cool one. Community 15. All right. The next ship we have on here is also built by Hoshell. This is a 56 cruise ship. It's got, it says overclock small lasers, initial burst damage. We may have seen a version of this in No Pause Cosmoteer 2026. As you see, we're looking at community ships that were built early March. This was built March 9th, or at least posted March 9th. I really feel like I don't remember what we played in No Pause Admiral Engage, but this feels like one of them. It was a really, really cool design. You notice he has 2 mining lasers on the side. He's got heat weapons. He's got overclock heavy laser. He's got overclock small lasers for the burst damage. It is totally undercrewed, right? 56 crew. It's purposely meant to be an undercrewed ship so that you could play it early in the game, the beginning of the game, and either have more than one of them. Now, obviously, if you put more crew in it, then the lasers, these small lasers, can actually function better, and other parts of the ship could function better. But you would obviously need a lot more crew to do that, right? You need a crew member for every single one of these lasers. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's already 12 crew members just to operate the lasers. He purposely has it set up so once all the lasers fire their burst, they leave their laser station and they dump back into the ship to help manage the shields and everything else so that it keeps working. So see, once the burst damage is gone, all these guys dump out of the lasers, they run back into the ship to give 12 more crew members for the rest of the actual ship. So that's why it's designed that way, where these walkways are forcing all those crew members to go back into the ship to help the middle of the ship after the burst damage is done. So you need the six crew members, plus you need all the power to power all those guys, and then everything else that you need. So 56 crew would no longer is 56 crew, it's a lot more. Anyways, it's designed that way. A great idea for those that are looking to do lower crew management, but actually make it function. Alright, this next ship we have here is built by Mega Animation. Small lasers plus capacitors work well with low amount of crew. This is true, IBN 666. I like that suggestion. Alright, Mega Animation. This is a ramming cannon. Out of all the cannon rammers, this one's kind of neat. For the crew, 68 crew, that's not bad. It is tending to overheat facing itself, but honestly, this would work great. 2 versus 1 versus something like this. Obviously 140 crew, same total cost, but 140 crew. It takes a lot more crew to do this. But what I want to see, and maybe I'm going to be wrong on this because he's already cutting down the middle on this part. And then this guy, so here's one thing that on your suggestion on your rammer make animation. If you have more than one of them, if they're stacked on top of each other like this, it doesn't help them. They maybe just even a tiny small thrust to the side, left or right, just so something like this doesn't happen. Because I would use this try to use this in a swarming like technique. So you see how this just happened? Now he's getting into a better position, but he's still in an actually negative position. So if two of these guys in this first fight doesn't beat this one big guy, which you can already see it's not, we'll give it one more chance. Then you should go back to the drawing board on that one, make animation. Okay, you see how he bounced off and now he's gonna get either stuck again or something. Okay, now he's doing better. He's coming from behind. But the first one's already losing its momentum, right? And then we're still protected on this side right here. Maybe disruptors to help rip off the shields. Okay, took off one side of the wing. That's trash. Obviously, it would mark that as trash. I purposely want him to get into a negative position here so he can fight through right here. Because this is the weakest part on the ship, is right here through the heavy shield to the actual air. But it doesn't look like it's doing it. We'll speed this up. Times 4 speed. Yeah, okay, so his ship's gonna run out of ammo before anything, before worse. If he hasn't already. Yeah, he already ran out of ammo. So, yeah, if you're gonna design that mega animation, I would suggest cyber thrust, maybe a little bit more ammo. Probably they're made to be sacrificial, but for 70 crew, that's mainly just a straight PvP ship. You wouldn't see that kind of ship in the game to be used for whatever purpose. Alright, this next one is also built by Mega Animation. I'm really liking this layer stacking and this paint job of armor. Really cool idea. I love this idea right here. Interesting thrusts on this thing. I don't see reverse thrust on it. But honestly, this armor placement, you don't see this very often with this kind of armor placement. I mean, you see it layer stack, but not like this diagonal triangle thing, right? Triangle, diagonal, triangle, triangle. And then incrementally getting bigger and painted that way. So it reduces the weight significantly, but increases the size significantly. Really cool. Like it. I like it. This could actually, you know, work in the beginning. As long as you get the titanium to do it, it probably would live long enough. He even has a way to detach this armor for whatever reason to make it lighter. So he has a hotkey too. So you can come over here and I'll probably do, what is this? Control Shift D, Control Shift D. That's not Control Shift D. What is that? Control Shift D. I just did. Hotkey Control Shift D. Control Shift D. Oh. It's me. It's my fault. My D key is worn out because I use it too much. And Control Shift D. Okay. So you can drop off the heavy armor and then it goes even faster. Interesting idea. Detachable armor. And then now you can see it's maneuvering better just with detaching that armor for whatever reason. And you can even hide behind the armor too, or whatever it is that you need to do. That's cool. I like that. That's a great idea, Mega Animation. I love the idea. I love the paint job on it. Really cool. Okay. The next one we have on here was built by Waywar 9. This is a Storm Lance drone. Durable mid-sized support ship designed to escort larger capital ships and assist during fleet engagements is what he says there. Oh, it has an ion beam down the middle. Overclocked. 2 overclocked ion beams down the middle with laser support. 54 crew? Oh, that's neat. For 54 crew with the storage you see in the back. This is not protected well in the back, clearly, as you can see if somebody hits through there. Which is one of the things we saw in No Pause Admiral Engage. Is the weakest part of the ship was the back, right here where the storage system is. He does have a little bit of armor here. Honestly, I would purposely change these to armor, just to protect the back a little more. And or change the storage. This is the only weakest part of the ship. Everything else, I like. I like it. I like the paint and everything. Like for a support ship, this is a great support ship. For 54 crew, that's a pretty neat support ship. Right? You take 3 of these guys, you face it versus 1 of these guys. Even just 2 of them, honestly. Just take 2. 2 of these guys versus 1 of these. The laser support. Those overclocked heavy lasers. Okay. That's mainly not too big of an issue, but still an issue. See how long it took him to swerve around and then get back into engagement range? That, it should be faster. If you're going to have a support ship, it's going to be fast, it's going to be light. As soon as it swerves around, it should already be in combat again. It's taking some, and he is dropping off a little bit here. But that's the main thing you want. You want it to be engaged so that he could have ripped up the back of this ship and tore it apart faster. It should happen instantly. Yo, didn't notice this mega animation said. I did post it in a Discord channel. I know I just picked it up. It's just whenever I had time. Really, 2 of these drones should have beat this one ship. Can it still win? It doesn't look like it's going to. It looks like we're ripping down the middle. Yeah, we got it down the middle. So what should have happened there, Wayward 9, if you're going to test your ship, 2 of these support ships should have easily destroyed this one ship. It didn't do it, so you probably want to do some few modifications. And my biggest modification would be speed. It needs to be able to get into range and swarm in the back instantly. Should never have that problem where it doesn't. But a really cool design. I love everything else on it. Really, really cool. Alright, this next one's also built by Wayward 9. This is a Viper, is a fast maneuverable support combat ship. Just going to overscore laser vessels. Now this one looks like it moves a lot faster. But here we have a problem right here. The cockpit says there's nobody in it. We have all these crew members. In fact, there's even 3 crew members sitting right here doing nothing. Here's a 4th one. 3, and then 2 more over here. The crew members sitting doing nothing, and nobody was piloting the ship. That's something you need to fix, Wayward 9, whenever you see this. So, when you look at it like this, right, you look at the dedications, he's got this yellow guy piloting here. So, this guy is a sentry, and you can see right here, they're running around. See those 2 guys? They're running around. If you're going to dedicate it to that, this one thing, to fix it, all you're going to do is do this. That's one fix. Now, if you still want this guy to run around and do something, you got to figure out what his dedication is, right? So we got to figure out, this is batteries, or what's batteries? Come over here, edit roll. Come over here to batteries, and make sure the battery, he has 10 for cockpit pilot, but you must have 10 for something else. He has 9 for thrusters. He has 8 for supply battery. He has something else for something else. But literally, you saw him running around doing other things, which is not what should ever happen, right? This guy should never walk away from that for any reason. So I would change this battery guy to something else, like operate. Maybe you have an operator. Do you have an operator? He does. He has an operator. Just change it to operator. And then if you wanted to have a secondary role, They do, right? And then that's probably the fix right there. Save this as 2.1. Let's just see if this one has the same problem now. Come over here. Those that want to learn editing roles and whatnot, this is how you fix it, right? So now as operator, the operator should still be, you can dedicate it back to this. The operator can be dedicated to the power source in this, so he has a secondary job, but also make sure he's still in the cockpit. So this guy you see right here, no operator, because the yellow guys are running around doing not smart things. And this one you can see the guy's in the cockpit. This blue guy's still doing nothing. Okay, now he's getting power, but then someone else took the job. That would be the fix. Yeah, that's the fix. He's still... No, all crew members are moving except for the one operator guy. You gotta fix the rule. We finally went out of the ship, out of there, but I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. It would take a lot more time to look at that ship to figure out the operator. See this one here? There's still the guy's doing nothing. So whenever you test your ships, test for that, right? You never want your guys to walk away from the cockpit, because when they do, your ship will sit there, and although it is firing, yes, in this test AI battle, because these ships are locked engaged in each other, and you can see it's doing better because it's not moving. In real combat, in the actual game, the other ships, enemy ships, are going to be flying away you for you whatnot. If your ship's just sitting there because you have nobody in the cockpit, that's not going to benefit you at all, right? It won because it was sitting there, not moving. But in the real game, you if your ship doesn't have a cockpit, you're going to have a lot of trouble. Alright, Hoshell built this next one. This is the AC extension. I think we also saw this one in No Pause Grand Admiral Engage. This was built March 11th. Whoa. Just looking at it is just so massive. I know we changed the back armor significantly on this one. In fact, if you want to see the newer version, it's here under Pimp, Hoshell. Okay, it's not in there. It's in test folder number 5. It's right here. 2.3. So we have the original here on the left. And we have the new modified one. I had to repaint it too. And mainly the biggest difference on this one is the back armor change. I significantly changed the back armor for flankability. Now this one has weaker, semi-weaker back armor here. Not as much protection down the middle, the sides, where this one has just a little bit, made it lighter, gave it more protection in the back for the straightaway, so it could tank it, and also change the back over here too. And then I probably also made a few changes on the internal. I don't know what I did. It's been many versions and many different games from now, so, but I do know we made a lot of changes to it. I don't even know if it beats the original anymore. Oh, we did also shave down the head armor. So his head armor on his original was much bigger. Makes it much more heavy. The head armor on this new modified one is purposely shaved down to make it lighter, faster, so we could get faster engaged into the actual battle. That's why this head armor disappeared much faster than this one did. So when a 1v1 versus each other, you would assume the guy with more armor would technically have a better chance and should win. I don't even know. Let me just go to times 4 speed. We'll find out here real soon. Yeah, the original one has more armor. A lot more armor. What I mean by a lot more armor, like huge section of armor, right? This one has that much more armor, and this one has this itty bitty armor, right? Makes a huge difference on a 1v1 versus each other. So it's not a true fair comparison on a 1v1 head-to battle, because I changed that one for speed, where the other one was changed for tankability. Alright, this next one we have here was built by Waywar 9. This is called the Stinger V16. What does he have written here? A light fighter, fast initial design for swarm operations. Okay. We have to see the swarm operations if that's what it's designed for. 4 crew. I'm liking small 4 crew. We'll do 4 of them. You should be able to beat something like this with 4 of these guys. The true is a true swarmer. No, it doesn't have enough damage. But maneuverability wise, this is exactly what I mean by getting into the position and going where you want it to be. For 4 crew members, I totally see this as a level 1 area fighting ship. That would be amazing to run into, right? If you take starter ship, right? You have 2 of these guys versus 4 of these guys. 4 of these guys should do decent damage. I don't know if they'll win because they don't have any shields. They do have a decent amount of armor in the front. They should win. They should win. 4 of these guys should totally win. So you see, they took out 1 guy down there, and they're coming over here, and they're going to beat this guy. Perfect swarming. So on level 1 area, these are amazing ships. But what you have to take into account is you probably won't have these ships on level 1 because overclocking small thrusters is very expensive. Researching radiators is expensive. Researching overclock small lasers is also very expensive. So this is a very expensive ship in level 1 area. But if you build one, it is beautifully painted and it's super fast. How fast does this thing go? Or maybe it's not super fast. Okay, 54.5. If it could go faster, it would be amazing. But for 54.5 on the level 1 area is probably what it was designed to do. That's not bad. You would want it to go 80 or more. Alright. I don't know where I'm going. We are in community folder number 15. Alright, the next ships, we have 4 of them. I'm going to have to do another folder because I'm going to lose these ships. So we're at folder number 16. We got 4 ships. All built by Mega Animation. He has a definitely interesting mind of what he builds. Let's bring in all 4 of these. Alright, we have something that you would build the first time you play. It looks like there's something you would build the first time you play Cosmoteer, almost. This one's looks like a better upgraded version of that. A bit better. I like this one, mining lasers. This one, I don't know, it looks interesting. I guess it's actually better than your first build because he's got this layer stack armor in the back and the radiators are actually spaced out, so it's very well protected in the back. Okay, take my comment back. It's better than I was anticipating. Decently protected in the back. Alright, this other one that he has here, this is a flat cannon support. That's interesting. I'm not seeing people build something like that with the heavy shields in the back like this. That's interesting. And then this is definitely a PvP ship of some form or fashion. This feels like something that would be protecting a space station. It doesn't go very fast, right? 3.5 or 7. It goes 8 maybe. This one goes faster. Alright, a diagonal facing flat cannons. You can see it got flanked from the behind. It just got demolished from the back. This one, out of all of the ships that are here, would be something I would see as maybe viable in the game. But my only concern with this one is how slow it is. And you can see right here we're having heat problems with all the mining lasers. Because these little... Maybe there's supposed to be one more here? Like, why is this here like that? Shouldn't this be your heat Mega Animation? Shouldn't this be one of these heat exchanges instead of just a pipe? That's why you're burning right here. Everybody can miss building. It's totally possible. This should totally be this. That should be that. Probably even one more. Just to be safe, right? It's probably what he meant to do. That should be 1.1. Oh, I took the wrong one off. 1.1, and then one of these guys, and then you won't have that same problem, right? We'll just go to times 4 speed and just look at it. times 4 speed. Now that you have the heat actually spaced out because they're not supposed to be attached to the mining lasers for whatever reason. See, they're not burning now. None of the mining lasers are on fire. The flak one was dropped. Oh, let's see again. I didn't notice this. That's what he said. I get back and just rewatch parts of my ships, or watch because I didn't see them yet before. I do now. Yeah, once you make just a tiny little change right there, all of a sudden the ship works. Sort of. The mining lasers are not doing damage anymore, and then you have limited ammo on the back. But it tore up this other ship, and it's still going. So yeah, this is where I picked it. It's my favorite ship. Cool ship. I like that one. Mega animation. Just make that tiny change, and the ship will work. All right, the next ship we have on here is Hoshell. Overclock 12 crew. I feel like I showed this ship at some point somewhere. I just don't remember where. It's been a while. Now this is a cool ship, right? You got your power small reactor back behind even the power capacitor. You got 2 overclock heavy lasers. You got a... I don't even know if the disruptor is disruptor overclocked. Yeah, we put this one in No Pause Cosmoteer, I think. For a short while. He's got good thrusts, he's got a storage system. Very compact. Cool 12 crew ship. We showcased it just a tiny bit in No Pause Cosmoteer, but we kind of moved on to the next one. But this one, at the beginning, if you can get the money to research overclocked heavy lasers and whatever else is overclocked on this ship, this is a cool starter ship. Decent damage. Okay, this is another version with point... Oh, this is the one we showcased. Now it's making sense. This is the one with point defenses. Now, here's the problem with this one that I had when we were doing No Pause Cosmoteer. This one doesn't keep the same shape, so it got trapped, right? This is the pointy edge trapped on each other, so when I was flying around as a fleet battle with this ship actually got in the way. I didn't mention it as much in No Pause Cosmoteer, but you notice it when you're watching the gameplay. These wing areas and this pointy tip, even though it provides armor, it provides catch points, and it's a lot harder to maneuver around them. Also, it's harder to fly around asteroids or have engagement. So that's why I didn't keep this ship for very long, is because of the pointed edges on the edges. And I replaced it and took it out, and we went on to the next one. Like, this doesn't work as well in the game when you're doing fleet battles, compared to, just so people are seeing it on this stream if they don't ever watch No Pause Cosmoteer, the difference is... Where did I put it? It's in pip. The difference between this and this. This one doesn't have those wings, and each side is a roll-off area. They do have a tiny bit of pointy edges, but it has so much thrust and maneuverability on it. Yes, it's obviously way higher, but we don't have those catching points, right? This is a catching point. This is a catching point. These back parts, these are all catching points. This one has very minimum catching points, and they're all roll-off points, and they're smoothed off edges so that they don't run into each other as often. And then the benefit is the mining lasers shoot over ships, so you don't have to worry about it as much. So that's the whole reason why those are like that. All right, community number 16. We have Adon Wayne. Now, I think we've seen Practically Impossible, but this is a different version of Practically Impossible. I don't know what he changed on it. He put point defenses on it. Huh. Overclock point defenses are on the outside of the ship. Now, it's a really cool idea, but again, remember the catching that I just explained? This would be very hard to do flying around maneuvering the ship as the ship dog Wayne. You also notice in No Pause Cosmoteer 2026 version when we were playing it, the ship wasn't very fast. And so I could see he added more thrust compared to the original one. So it does have more maneuverability. But my concern is, although these point defenses are cool, a cool idea, this adds catching points, and it's really hard to fly around asteroids. It's really hard to fly around other ships. You're controlling multiple ships. But I love the tankability on this ship. It's got decent damage. My only concern is speed. For at least the way I play. If you're okay with getting all your ships into position and then waiting to actually fight and then actually engaging the enemy ship, it could still work. But you also notice in No Pause Cosmoteer you have a lot of pirates and other things flying around, and they're going to engage you whether you're ready or not. Alright, Stinger V161. This is what made it faster and added more PD turrets. Oh, this is a beautiful design ship. Way more PDs. You can see the PDs are offensively being used. This would be like a level 1.2 or level 2 area. If you wanted to play with this ship, this would be a fun ship to have more than one of. With 4 crew members, you can't go wrong. Alright, Way War 9, I think these actually, both this one and the other version, deserve to be put into a possible showcase of another No Pause Cosmoteer Engage. I like this a lot. I like it. Where's that test folder? You go into folder number 6, we'll put another one in there. And where's the other one? 1.6. I'm just gonna put 1.6 in there. There we go. Now I got both of them. Alright, come back over here, number 16. The 3 ships made for the campaign challenge. Now we've seen all 3 of these ships already. We'll just take another really quick pick at them again. I showcased them in a totally different video whenever we did it for No Pause Cosmoteer Engage. But we'll look at them again. All built by Mega Animation. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 cannons. Now, I've explained the reasons why I don't do cannons in No Pause Cosmoteer Engage, mainly because they're very exposed. They can blow up very easily because the enemy does 40% more damage. You do 30% less damage. So 30% less damage on cannons, and enemies doing 40% more damage. You can see once you lose the cannon and the ammo, it blew up, and they're very expensive to repair, and they take a long time to rebuild. Plus, they have a limited supply of ammo, which I always have a hard time doing. And getting the ammo back. So if we wanted to make No Pause Cosmoteer Engage much more longer, like 15 or 10 more episodes longer, we would play with cannons. But we would be constantly spending most of the time rebuilding, restocking ammo, getting sulfur, building more ammo, and then rebuilding all your ships, and the losses would be tremendous. So cannons are fun though. Definitely fun ships for PvP. Alright, Way War 9, he has what he says may updated to be tankier. Depending on the enemy, should change outer shields to reinforce instead of extended, is what he says. Have not yet get the hyperdrive to work in it. Yeah, the hyperdrive back here kind of makes it a little hard. Very interesting. Taking that drone capabilities and making it bigger, 50 crew. Okay, we have that same problem Way War 9. You see this cockpit? There's nobody in it. Did you test it versus itself? Did you look to see about this? This is a problem. Huge problem. We already know the fix. I'll just showcase it for people that may be just joining or wondering what the fix is. You just come over here, you get the operator, stick the operator right there. Just make sure it's dedicated like that, and that's the fix. Now, if the operator role was wrong, then we'd have to change the operator role, but what should happen here is the guy stays in the cockpit. This one guy should still free float, because it's still assigned to the large reactor, as long as his priorities are set properly. So you'll see that this ship... Oh, is this still 1.12? What's going on? Why is that one working now? Interesting. Oh, no, see? There, it's broken again. There's no pilot there. And this one has a pilot. So we still have a guy sitting there and a bunch of guys over here sitting and doing nothing. That requires much more in-depth looking at the crews, how they're actually set, and what's set to what. But that's the quick fix to make it at least work in-game compared to nobody's in the cockpit for whatever reason. I don't know why. Well, it's because of dedications, but yeah. Fix that Way War 9 whenever you see that. Alright, the next one we have was built by New Player. I think we saw this one, No Pause Admiral Engage, when somebody built it. This was the very interesting shaped armor. I like the armor on it. And then I do remember I made changes to it as well because it was an interesting 20 crew ship. Very tanky. Very usable. I wish it had a manipulator beam on it. As you saw, manipulator beams are so useful in No Pause Cosmoteer or any in-game ship if you're trying to build it. Having a manipulator beam in there really helps. Cool design. We've seen that one before. Okay, the next one right here definitely has to be a PvP ship because of this interesting checkered-like paint design. This was built by New Player Circle Fighter. It's a circle-shaped ship. This has a lot of... But it has movement. It's just not fighting versus itself. Like, this is a... Well, how many crew is this? 16? For its cost, it's like super crazy cheap. Obviously, you have a hard time finding titanium at the beginning of the game. But what I would like to see is... drones versus drones. So these little circle guys... Alright, so you see he's had a hard time, he's drifting so far. I guess he's still in range. Now, point defenses are still going to block out most of the actual cannon fire, as you can see. That's what point defenses do. I wish point defenses also helped against overclocked railguns. Maybe just make it so that it takes 2 times as many point defenses to stop a railgun, but at least that point defenses still stop railguns, or at least try to. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents against overclocked railguns. The only way to fast them is to get really fast speed guys or super tankable shields. Why not remove the capacitor or move the shield back 2 spaces will work better. Give me a 9666 said. Why NU is more of a PvP player? NU player has built some... I mean, this is also looks like a PvP block. That's right, because if you're flying the ship self-controlling it, you control D on it, right? Or not control D, whatever it is. Take off the AI and then you control it. And you can literally fly circles and things around people and do some pretty neat stuff. So as a PvP ship, this is a 14 crew PvP ship, literally under 110. Now, if you take in the research costs, which is not included into this, it's way more expensive, but for self-controlling this ship, this would be a great ship to be able to fly left, right, dodge, right? You're self-controlling it, you're moving, you're able to dodge and shoot at the same time. Really neat square fighter. Alright, this next one's also built by New Player. This is a Wormy battleship. Wormy battleship? What am I looking at? Wormy battleship. Works with AI or not. We might do another worm type ship. Ah. Huh. So, if you're looking at it, take a second to look at it on the outside. He's got laser here as the feet, right? Laser, laser, feet, laser, laser, feet. And then, if you really wanted to, is it number 2, number 3? Oh, you didn't hotkey it. It's not hotkeyed. Okay. Oh, it's 0. So come over here. Hit the 0 key. Do a Control-Shift-D. And all of a sudden... Oh, wait a second. You're supposed to do it right away. 0, Control-Shift-D. It becomes a worm! That's even better than I was thinking. So it's still attached. All the ships are still attached, but it's having a but every single ship is deciding to, it doesn't work in AI obviously. But Oh, we need to test this for something else. Let's do this. Let's do this. Wormy ship. Okay, 0, Control Shift D. Okay, it's now a worm. You can see AI is being stupid. But all the ships are still attached. It's a worm. Alright, and new player, build a worm with ion beams. I think ion beams would work even better as a worm, right? Do this. Obviously, you'd have to make this a lot bigger. But do ion beams. That would be cool. Ion beam flank on a worm? Yeah. That would be neat. Well, first do a heavy laser version and then do an ion beam version. Right? Yeah. And the worm can detach and become its own section if they blow up half of it. Look at that. Okay, I love this idea. That deserves a better look at. I don't even know if I could take the time to build something like that with the time I have. But that worm. That's the first wormy ship that I've seen, that I've got to test, and it's going to go in there. Alright. Very cool. Heat Front Collective. This is a new person. Never seen this person post before. Heat Front Collective. What do you have? Wanted to make a ship for the challenge but failed miserably. Perhaps I'll try to extend the engines in the future. There's kind of want to use a bunch more other text in there as well. How many battleships still in there for whatever reason? What's going on? Restart the battle. There you go. If he painted this actually looks really cool. It kind of looks like a... I was gonna say it looks like a crab, but when you turn it this way, it actually looks like a person. See? It's a person! Anyways. Maybe I've seen something different. Hello, Wayward 9. Welcome. Very interesting. Okay, so whenever you see this Heat Front Collective, I would move your reactor behind the mining lasers. Some way. You can move the mining lasers more forward and then put the reactor behind it. As you can see, the AI is targeting the reactors first, which makes all the rest of this armor useless. If you're gonna leave the reactor there, then you need to figure out, is this enough armor and is this enough armor? Because you can see they go straight for that. That and or put shields, so if you do keep the medium reactor here, put shields away from the medium reactor as AI targets those shields. If you put a larger shield like somewhere over here and a larger shield somewhere over here, they'll target the shields first before the reactors, depending on how much armor to that shield is and everything else. Anyways, that's a... Yeah, I meant if you put a whole bunch of shields in there, and then you just, wherever you technically place the shield, you let the AI force it to go fire something else. But that's a really, really neat first attempt on what you were building there. I love that idea. Mega Animation built a... we saw this one in No Pause Cosmoteer Grand Admiral Engage. We'll look at it here again. This is that spiky. Now, here's the thing that I had the problem with on the No Pause Grand Admiral Engage Mega Animation. We didn't have any reverse thrust on this. And without reverse thrust, they can get up there in combat. They can do the damage. But your maneuverability to fly around or do what it is when I was doing the quick selections and quick targets, it didn't help. This is, you can see it's a great PvP ship, 1v1, but its swarming capabilities, we also have all these edges right here that are catchable. And without reverse thrust and maneuverability, it's gonna have some problems. That was my biggest thing, is why we didn't build too many of these or go into them in depth. IBN, I've seen bigger, tankier crabs. Yeah, crabs are fun to make. It's still fun to make. Yeah, I still think this is a really, really cool ship. It was a great idea. I love the paint job on it too. Gives it that little eyeball. Cool. Rakdos. Rakdos built a fatter hand. Okay. So there was a fat ant. I think this one's actually cooler than fat ant. You got more maneuverability. My concern is the reverse thrust on this isn't enough. I guess it's made to be tanky. And this shield right here, because it's overcharged right here, it does cover. So he actually has 2 shields for each. He has a shield here, and this shield right here overreaches and still covers that little section right there. I don't know if it covers that, but it covers some. Very interesting. For a beginning first cruise ship, 22 crew, under 300,000. Now, yeah, it's a lot more than 300,000 with all the overclock on it, but still, this is a decent ion beam ship to have at the very beginning of the game. Alexander Dragon, hi all, lurking is what he says. Very interesting ship. Alright, Wayward 9 has the next ship in here. This is a PD shielded. 6 crew. Oh. Whoa. You had so many PDs in there, I didn't get to look at them all, but this is the one that I would have loved to have seen in. So this would have been the upgrade. From 4 crew to 6 crew with 2 shields, overclocked. This is a perfect upgrade to the 4 crew drone. I like it. I really like it. I'm gonna save this to make a change to it. So the change that I would make to this Wayward 9, just because you had problems, I would make this change right here. My son's asking me a question. Yes, my son.
No, my friend said there's a bike race starting at 5 o'clock. Can I go?
A bike race? Are there any older kids with you?
Well, no, but maybe there may have.
What kids are going? What kids are going?
No, we will see. But by the way,
I want an adult there if you're going to do a bike race, okay? I don't want you guys to get hurt.
okay.
If there's an adult watching you, you can. My kid wants to go do a bike race, and I don't want him to get hurt. We're not with no adults. All those little kids, they're like 6. That doesn't sound safe. Alright. I like this one. Let's come over here, repair this. And if my kid goes off and does it on his own, I may have to go stop him because he might do something dangerous. But let me save this version right here in test. Here, 1.1. We'll just stick right there. I like that way. There's some more modifications I want to make to it. But the main reason I put the armor right there is because I noticed on every single No Pause Admiral Engage, this took damage. Storage is nice. It has enough storage. But it needs that protection. But then that adds That makes it so you don't lose them as much in the actual game. Or maybe even more changes to it. Anyways, that's what I would do to that one, Way War 9. And he has another one. Here's a more armored variant of the PD drone, also with shields. We got too many drones down. I don't know where it went. New folder, number 17. There you go. There's another one made by Way War 9. PD drone shielded. Now, the nice thing about putting PDs in the front is it looks cool, but the downside is the AI is going to target this. Right? So if we select him, we see what is he targeting? He should be. What is he targeting? He's not targeting. PDs don't get the target. But the enemy ship gets the target. So if you take an enemy ship, right? What's a good right here? Fat Ad. Take Fat Ad. What is Fat Ad targeting? Fat Ad's gonna target. Okay, he's targeting the cockpit, not the actual PDs. Okay, he's targeting the cockpit, which honestly is the best thing to target with the shield to shield cover. This one might work with the PDs up front like that. Now I think the AI is trying to target, what's this target? Targeting the shield now. So he lost just enough armor to now target the shield, which is fine. He's targeting the outer. And then the PDs, and the main reason why I was thinking about this PD is I was thinking they need to move back either 1 square or 2 squares. But the PDs are actually not in a bad spot. If you look right here, you lost the heat. Nope, you didn't lose that heat. Perfect place for the pipe. PDs are in a great spot. You see these PDs are still there. We lost the shield. Really good placement of this Way War 9. You don't have to move the PDs back. They are positioned just in a spot where he goes right here and hits the shield. Both 3 PDs are there if you just have a single line straight down, right? And then this last one, I don't know what it's targeting. It's targeting down the middle. Okay, it's targeting the reactor now, which is not what you want to do. You want to target the other shield. So maybe a hair more armor right up the middle to force it to take this shield out and take this shield out and not actually target the reactor. So this is how you test to see what is the AI targeting. Select the enemy ship, see what it's targeting, and that's right now it's still targeting the reactor. And that's what you don't want it to do, is to go right down the middle like this and blow up the reactor. So maybe just a hair more armor up at the top. That's up for you to decide. Anyways, I just wanted to show people how you can see armor ratio to what is targeting. The next one over here is another one built by Way War 9. This is another PD. This is why I didn't know which PD drone he was asking, because he had put so many in there. Here's another one. This one says updated standard version PD drone, which can overheat if it fires all PD turrets continually for too long. I like the version behind it with the shields. The PD placement of the PDs may have to be changed, as I was just describing for the last one, so you'll have to look into that. Salute Rakodos. Mega Animation says, I also found my old worm ship, but it's really old, so yeah, it will need changes, but I don't have time for that. Rakodos says, started deleting old ships that I have newer versions of in the same channel. Thank you for doing that. That helps to keep it organized better. We do have a lot of ships. Really, I like this one. I like the version before a little bit better. I like the shield one a little bit better. 2 more fresh ships, but not combat. Alright, Mega Animation has a scout, and we saw this one. So we saw this one right here in No Pause Admiral Engage. You remember it has a mouth, right? I ripped all this out for speed. And then this one right here was a scout. Now, a dedicated scout is always nice. I like to put my scout in my transport all together in one. It makes a little bit more sense, right? Because you're already flying around with your transport ship doing all these other different things, so might as well have them as a scout, fast moving. But that's just how I build mine. Really cool paint job. Thank you for sharing those, Mega Animation. Now this one is a Viper support battleship built by Wayward 9. 52 crew. What is it? What am I looking at? We have nobody in the cockpit. So it's not moving. Somebody finally got in. It's a path. Really hard for them to get there? Is that why it took them so long to work to start up? Alright. Definitely you can see repainted with such a much bigger ship. This one has shields. Shield. Interesting idea. Okay, here's my comment to fix for this one right here. You see this? They have to come in here, they go here, and then they have to walk this way and then walk this way to the shield. That's way bigger of a delay than just reversing the walkways. So, what I would do, because this shield's not as important as these shields in the front, right? So this is the change I would make. The change I would make would be to come over here, pause it for a second, come over here, do this, grab the walkway. This one's the up, this one's the down. Just that change alone. And what should happen here is it will speed up this shield recovery significantly, as well as this shield. So you see this piloting? We reverse the walkways on this. So you see right here, they run up, they provide the power, and then they can just walk straight in to get there. See, the guy walks in and he can walk straight in to do whatever. But it looks like these guys are here in the front. Maybe these guys are just supply. But no, they come in here. Yeah, so they come in here and then they do supply too. That speeds up the frontal armor. And I don't know if it speeds it up just enough to beat that one. We're gonna hear. But the only way to find out is to go times 8 speed and we'll find out here in a second. But changing the walkways should improve the frontal shields. We have the cockpit problem again. Still loses. Still a change that I would personally make. The ship on the right normally tends to win more often than the ship on the left for whatever reason. The AI does that. Okay, here's a variant with a radar, he says. What is this? Too many names with the same. Oh, this one has a radar. Okay, I see the radar name. Here's another variant, also built by Wayward 9. We still have that cockpit thing. Does this guy have more than one dedication? They do. And that's part of the cockpit problem. They're also assigned to the... Interesting. Anyways, we have a radar in the back. An overclocked radar. How many crew members is this? 56? That's not bad for 56 crew. I would make a change to the head armor. That's the only change I would do to this Wayward 9. I know you really like this shape right here with this everything, but the head armor for a battleship, this needs to change. And what I mean by change is I would take something like this. Take this shield design armor and put this right here. And it will do so much better. That's what I would change, right? Even with the heavy shields. The heavy shields are in there for a very main purpose. And you'll see that this 52 crew ship, because of the shield, see how the AI, this one right here, is targeting that shield. And look how well protected this shield is. You haven't even gone through here, haven't even touched it. Where this ship right here, we've already lost all this armor. We're now losing the shields. We're now going to lose either weapon systems or more of the armor. Where right here, the AI is still trying to target this large shield. Oh, we're done with that large shield. Okay, now it's going to go for this large shield. See? Now it's trying to target this other large shield. We only lost one large shield, and you lost your ship. So if you want to make a better head armor, this is what you want to do if you're going to go diagonal facing. It doesn't look as cool. Maybe? I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool, but that's what I would change on yours, Wayward 9, to make it better. Alright. Community number 16. We are with Mega Animation. He built this eye wall. Okay. It is painted. It's got a lot of point defenses. It's got little teeth on it too. It lags the game if you have more than one in the game. But kind of cool. Looks neat. Neat paint design. I like it. Does lag the game though, so I'm not gonna keep that one in there too long. Okay, let's come over here. Clear objects. I know we have a lot of stuff in there. Clear everything. All right. Next one we have in here is also built by Mega Animation. We have a wait. I want to load. What's going on? Gotta get back in there. Oh, we're in folder 17. But I put in 16. It's okay. I can find it. It's called a tether. Teether. It's called a teether. Not painted, but we can see the teeth in it. We have crew issues at the beginning for the thermal resonance lens. For thermal resonance lens first cheap build for 24 crew, this makes some sense. Armor placement, I would probably try to change something on it before a heat ship. And here's the real test for this, for the tether, right? Take two of these guys. And can you beat one of these guys? Should be able to with the amount of shields on this guy. Well, no, I mean the opposite. The shields should be able to protect this way. But what I want to see is how well does it perform versus something. Let's see, armor is... I like this armor stacking. It makes sense. But once we rip off this, then we don't have any more protection for it to stop ripping half the ship down, and then we had no reason to target this one. And then for whatever reason, it's staying so far away. We're not having the flank ability to come over here and get the behind. And so both of them get destroyed. Maybe if you had like many more. That's what one of the things you're going to test with your ship's Mega Animation. Swarm ability. You want, if you have 2 ships or 3 ships, the second ship should go right behind the enemy ship and be able to take it out. Alright, 333, but worth it. We saw this in No Pause Cosmoteer, probably a different version of it. This is an amazing ship. It totally worked at the high levels of No Pause Cosmoteer. Each one of these individual pods, they are just there to give you the first initial burst thrust or to get to where you need. They are not needed for the ship to operate. You can lose all of these separate engine rooms, which are concepts. He took all the concepts from everybody in this channel, what people have built, and he built it into this ship. He's got the mining lasers. He's got the layer stacking of the shields. He's got the diagonal facing. He has the AI targeting with the larger shields, multiple of them. He has the thruster capability, the detachable. He has shielded protection from all around. He's got the speed. He's got the damage. He's got the sustainability. He's got it sectioned off. He put everything into this ship from everybody's knowledge. Put it into this ship. So Rakados, thank you for building something this big and actually fully working, and it worked in the Postgram Engage just perfectly fine. And this is the old version he's saying in the chat too. So yeah, a lot went into this ship, I can tell, and a lot went into building it. I don't even know how many hours or days or weeks you put into building this, but this is a nice ship. At high level, I don't really have any complaints about this ship at all. It can tank, it can do damage, it can even flank and get into position, it can turn, it can move fast. It's got a lot of everything in it. I like it. Oh, I do remember that we did have to remove the control room. The control room. No. This one has the control room center. See, the bridge is in the middle of the ship. The most protected part of the ship. This doesn't have the I was thinking of somebody else's ship. Yeah, he already has it. The one downside of that is if he gets railguns facing it. But that's a different story. Alright. Don Wayne. We built a minimum reel just enough to make it worth 80.5 millisecond tanky. Agile for a big girl. Why is it throwing its back at him? What is the AI thinking? Alright. Bertha. Now, Rakdos' ship is definitely more expensive, and I would assume Rakdos' ship should tear shoes to this ship for whatever reason, because the AI is doing something ridiculously dumb. Why do you face your back to him first? The AI has no brains. He's got more mining lasers on this thing than I anticipated. Alright, hold on. Give it a real chance. AI, none. Look at that, the attack default's reversed. Why? Your attack default should be like this. Okay, just do that. There you go. For whatever reason, the attack default said reverse the ship on purpose. I don't know why. It makes no sense to me. Now, because I turned the AI off on it, it's not targeting anything, where this other ship is targeting, and that's going to be a default downplay of it. But if you wanted to do it now, you could just say go for the bridge and see if how well it could protect versus this. We've already lost the whole front though. But interesting ship, both of them. I bet it would stand a better chance if we did that, right? Come over here, unpause it, AI, turn it on. Fix this weird angled thing on it, and then just do this and just go a little faster, times 4. Let's see if this thing can take it if it's doing right down the middle like that. The answer is if it's human controlled on both sides, they would do much better. See, just like that. It's got the damage. Now, if you were controlling both human on both sides, obviously the fight would be way, way different. But that's just wanted to see or show that Don Wayne's does have a decent amount of damage on it. All right. This next one was built by Hochel. This is a 150 crew prototype. A bona fide ship AI moment. Yep. I don't know why it's still doing. It still did the first for whatever reason. Alright, this is an interesting thrust. Interesting armor placement. Really, really cool design. It didn't paint it yet, but... Alright, now this deserves a 150 crew. This deserves this test. Alright, Rakdos, let's see if you can handle 2 of these guys. So, you should be able to. Right, so this is the design where you see how they don't stick. They roll off. Oh, no, they got stuck right there. You see this little armor right here that sticks out, forcing the ship to pivot the wrong way. Not something you want to happen. Rakdos ship, you can see right here. It's just ripping through this other ship. Just tearing through it. And this other ship, for whatever reason, its attack defaults here. It's not pulling away. And you see right here, this is the semi-weak point. So we took off one section, took out the reactor in the back. But you see, Rakdos' ship is still tearing through this. We're actually going to turn this to junk right now. forcing it to fight this one. So we tore up a good section right here in the back. But you see, because it's sectionalized, this ship's still going. Now, from the front to front, you can see it already sustained heavy damage. But the ship's still doing damage back to this other one. But because of this head armor and everything else, two of these guys is doing serious damage to this other ship. Now, he lost a lot of his capability because we lost off the main reactor here. And then we're losing the whole front. And because we lost the reactor back here, we lost all the heat pumps. And now we lost all the reactors, so we lost all the power. Where this ship, it has 3 reactors. I don't know how many reactors was in your ship, Arcados, but once this back one took out the reactor in the back, this ship got disabled. But if you had backup power or something else in the ship, or something else placed somewhere else so that the AI could not have to target it just like that, probably would have lived a little bit longer. But that's a really good test. Obviously it costs more. Crew-wise is very similar, but it's a little bit more expensive. But that's why I just wanted to. 2 ships are sometimes better than 1, and that's why when I do No Pause Admiral Engage, why I do fleet battles. Lots of smaller ships are actually better than 1 gigantic big ship, if you control it and you play them properly. And the ships are optimized to actually do what I'm doing for them. Alright, beautiful on purpose. We also saw this one in No Pause Admiral Engage. This was built by something Nick. I think this is the smaller version. Now, the bigger version did not hold up against No Pause Admiral Engage because of the 40% more damage, 30% less damage, and the fact that you're gonna get hit from the sides. Like, I know that it's circling and we can't see it very well. Pausing it. I know that he has 3-point defenses here, and he has 4-point defenses here. But if you watch No Pause Admiral Engage, it's not enough for the missiles that are coming at it. And even with every single one of my ships had point defense on it, it still got flanked. It still took damage on the side. So even though this works in PvP and 1v1 or works in many other instances, in a fleet-to-fleet battle in the actual game, you're going to take damage from all sides. And you can't prevent it. So you got to build armor, you got to build something. No matter how many point defenses we had, we still took damage on the sides. Either from lasers, from projectiles, from missiles, from something. And when the enemy's doing 40% more damage, you just can't stop it. Alright, this is the next one that Narakidos built. This is a battleship. Newer version that he posted in there. I really don't even know what to say or look at to see what changed because there's so much in there. I would have to spend at least an hour or more just observing it to see what was changed. But something was changed to make it better. Just probably take the newest version and go from there. But really, really cool. I'm glad he posted in Discord, so those that joined the Discord and you want this ship, it's in there. I only posted the version that I played in No Pause Admiral Engage. I don't know if that's the newer version or the older version, so if you always want the newest stuff, feel free to join us on Discord. All these ships are there in the Cosmoteer Ship PNG only channel. Feel free to scroll through them. They're all public facing. Download, use them, play them, modify them. They're public facing. This way, 2 more ships we can rematch. Specifically built for to beat 2 Post-Shells 150. Okay, so Rakidos says that he built another ship that's down there that can actually beat it. There's probably more versions in there. We'll wait to get to that one. You'll let me know in the chat. This is built by Mega Animation. This is a 3-deck cannon flesh ship. Okay, he added the sideward thrust. But what I really, really want on your PvP like ship Mega Animation is you don't have any reverse thrust still. We got forward thrust. We got side thrusts. We have no way to go backwards, which really hurts us when we're trying to fly around asteroids or other ships. But it's still cool. Cool paint design. Cool armor. I'm pretty sure it goes pretty fast with the engine rims on there like that. I think the best part of this is, or maybe he has it on every ship, I just didn't look close enough. The eyeball is the reactor. Yep, the eyeball's the reactor. The green eye, the reactor. Maybe he did that for all the ships. I just didn't notice. And man, the name got corrupted. I don't know why, but it did. Alright, let's clear all objects. Let's go to the next one. Next one. Shallow bone. We're just gonna face it versus the other one. Oh, that's interesting. Almost feels like it's an affected bone or something with the paint design. So he's got the red and the layer stack and the bone, like the bone marrow, whatever it is. Honestly, the armor, as you can see, all the triangles, makes this very light, but very heavily protected, as you can see. Even with 3 deck cannons, it's still living because of all this armor. But because the triangle armor is like this, it makes it a lot lighter, which means it can go faster. Is there like not enough crew to reload the cannons? It's also because they're dedicated to shield. You should have a just make one change to this mega animation. You should have crew dedicated just for the shields. Literally, you just need 2 guys for each shield. 2 for this one, 2 for this one. And the rest can be ammo runners. That's the change I would make to this ship, now that we're watching it, right? You literally have over here, you come over here, you duplicate this row, you sit over here, and you say edit row, and you say shields. Shields. Here, I'll make it easier. Come over here, set all priorities to 3 for this. Go over here to shields, do 10 and 10. Come over here, change this to purple. Call this shield. Select these 2 guys. Do this. Do that. And don't worry about it anymore. Oh, wait. Maybe you do need to worry about it. You do have guys running to actual passengers. Does he have this set? No, he doesn't. But those guys should just be running to the shield, see? And then you have guys for loaders. Anyways, that's what I would change. Alright. Next one. Let's go to the next ship. Next ship we have over here. We have the best version since nobody also bought budget version to fit under 3 million. He's got 2 ships in here, so I'm going to make a new folder. Oh, this one 18. Brackados built. Why are there 2? Oh, 1 under 3. Okay, we'll do the budget one. I want to see the budget one. Budget one versus 2 of these, it says. Rematch. Or is it the bigger version that's the better one? Budget development started at 3/15 this year. It's been less than 2 weeks. I want to see if the budget version one can beat this one. So you see that this is O'Shea builds the ships like how we originally discussed and planned, right? 2 ships engage, 1 ship comes behind and purposely gets into position and flanks. And for whatever reason, this ship's deciding it doesn't know which target to target. Honestly, with what it's doing right here back and forth, because it has so many shields and protection all over, it's actually giving it time to recuperate from each shield. But he should have finished this. He should have finished this guy off before he turned around to the other one. So now he's taking double damage. Still, for a budget version, I think the budget version is lost. All right, take the budget version away. Come back over here. Take in the other one, the bigger one. I don't know which one's supposed to win. Okay, Go speed, we'll go to times 8. Back to times 4 so you can actually watch it a little bit. These two ships are massively strong. 450 crew. An up-close battle. Now, my concern about Hochel's ship is speed. I don't know how fast these guys go. Okay, he has decent speed. He's got 4 engine rooms here. Plus he has a reverse right here. I bet this goes decently fast. I don't know how fast, but I bet it goes decently fast. And it's got that flanking swoop. That ship prototype, I really kind of want to look at it closer a little bit more at another date. Clear all selected objects. Clear those. Let's go to Mega Animation. He's got whatever this is, a big storager. Interesting. Detachable. What? It's a big H. Big H. Okay. Your big H. Oh, I guess. Okay, he does have a airlock here and an airlock here. But honestly, because you have so many crew here and all these storages, you probably should put an airlock on the ends. On both ends. On the bigger storage there, Mega Animation, just so the crew members can get out and actually harvest for materials and then get back into the ship. And or if you're trying to transfer crew off, you have to walk all the way to the middle. That's my 2 cents. That's what I would make a change on that one. Alright, Purposely Beautiful on Purpose, built by something Nick. Very. We've seen both of these in No Pause Admiral Engage. I did discuss. They are definitely beautiful. Very nicely painted. It doesn't stand up for if you're trying to use them in No Pause Admiral Engage, unless they're specifically for one reason, and that's to block the Thanatos or the aim. But we never got to test it in our one playthrough because we didn't run into those, so we don't know. This would also work against aim, just because the aim shoots down the middle and the frames and everything else kind of prevent it. This is a mega built by Mega Animation. So for those that are wondering or seeing this for the very first time, if you come over here to built-in ships, you come over to IO, and I'm assuming that if you kick the aim, you fight this versus aim, because overclock railguns don't do that much damage to frames for whatever reason, so you only took off 1 square. What should happen here is this anti-kite still coming through. Maybe they changed it so it does a little bit more. No, they're taking off single frames every shot. You don't have a way to rip off the shields, Mega Animation. Did you test this versus aim? Yeah, see, you lost power from the... So even if you were to get power back and get back into position, you don't have any way to rip off the shields. So you should probably rethink that one. Oh wait, he has another one in here. Let's put the aim back in here real quick. Let's come over here to My Ships 2026 Community, folder number 18. Drop in another one of these kites. Got a new version for whatever reason. Fix some parts, he says. Okay, you still don't have disruptors. You can get close enough. You can block some of the anti-missiles, but you see some are still hitting. But you don't have a way to rip off his shields. But without ripping off your shields, it's gonna not be able to tank it face to face. Alright, Mega Animation built another 10 deck with thermal resonance lance. The only way to really test this, you take 3 of these guys. You take the budget ship built by Rakados. And you watch to see if all 3 of these guys have enough firepower to take on this battleship. And I'm gonna assume these guys are gonna rip apart really quickly. So you just lost that one right there and lost another one. And because we don't have the sideward thrust or flankability, they're all gonna stay in the front. Now they did do great damage right here, as you can see they're piercing through, and now we just lost the reactor. So firepower alone with the deck cannons are really messing this other ship up. That's why these are great PvP ships. Would probably work in the game too, but you see the cost of losing one. You lose one of these costs 100 crew, 900 plus thousand. But the damage output, as you can see, is a decent amount. More of a test is what he said. Yep. PvP, deck cannons. Overclocked deck cannons, not just deck cannons. Overclocked deck cannons, so they ripped that other ship apart. Now, ammo-wise, if you really did play this in the game, we've already lost half the ammo. That means you would have to resupply all the ammo and everything else. You would lose one ship, and you just have to focus on titanium. Yeah, that worked better than I anticipated. Good PvP ships. Alright, this next one is a 2 deck cannon tank with low crew requirements. Two deck cannons. Ooh. I actually like this one. There's no reverse thrust though. So in the actual game, reverse thrust truly does help. Especially if this has got the flat cannon protection, shield protection, everything else. So it'd be really, really nice to have some reverse thrust, which is not hard to put into this ship, honestly. With reverse thrust, this ship actually would probably function pretty decently. He's got the 4 shield cover. He's got the small reactor overclocked. He's got the 2 deck cannon damage. He's got the flat cannon defense. Lots of ammo though. Here's my concern: if you get flanked from here, and if this ammo storage blows up, does the chain react to the rest of it? Right? So if you take this, flankers, do we have flankers? We do! Let's go to radar. I know this is unfair advantage, but what I want to see right here is this really enough armor to protect the ammo? A lot of times they do ammo factories, they don't explode as easily, especially with sulfur. But what should happen here is see how they branch off. You see how this drone flanks like this, forcing this guy in the back like this. And then this guy's trying to fight here where the drone does exactly what it's supposed to, hit from the back, and not even going for the ammo, just taking everything else out. Interesting. My animation built another one. This is a straw. This looks like a cargo ship. It is a cargo ship. Ooh, I like the 6 manipulator beams on this guy. And all these airlocks in the front. This is just money. You don't need them all this many in the front. But interesting. I like that. The paint design, right? Made it so it'd just be a square. That's probably why you put that many there. Alright, this bigger Stroth looks to have some reverse thrust on it. And it does. He's got reverse thrust in the front. He's got sideward thrust. He's got maneuverability. Yes, this is definitely an improvement. That's better. We are on March 22nd. Alright, folder number 18. This is built by Lucky Loser. This is a 10 overclocked ion single. 206 crew. Ooh, I like what I'm looking at. Hold up. Take 2 of these. Take the budget. Restart battle. Go. Alright. Now, because the question is, does Lucky Loser's ship stay in flanking position? Which it is. You see he's got great speed, perfect flank right from behind like this. Get to wherever he needs to. Tanking like a champ still in the front. Painted beautifully. We lost a few crystals, that's all. And some armor in the front. But it's maybe it needs more disruptors. 2 disruptors seem... So he's got 4 disruptors, right? He's got these 2 and these 2. My biggest concern right here is this disruptors with the head armor. Maybe it's not firing. He maybe needs 3 disruptors. But even with just 2 disruptors, we've already ripped off all the outer armor and stuff. And now we're actually getting into the innards. You can see it's eating it. It didn't get enough to the reactor just yet because of the overclocked ion beams tend to do radial, outward damage, not single target damage. Okay, he did finally get the reactor in the back. And this one's only lost 1 crystal. Very well protected. If you ran into 2 of these ships that Lucky Loser built, and if this were in-game ships, this would be very deadly combination. If you only had 1 ship. Rakdos' ship is still pounding away though, as you can see. I would have assumed 2 of these ion ships would have been able to do enough damage to take this guy out. But you can see the budget ship, because it sectionalized the back section and the front section, it took on both of them. Right? 3.8 to 2.9. 412 crew to 322 crew. That's how you know you have a good ship, is when you can beat something that should technically lose, but then it wins. Alright, Lucky Loser built another one. This is a Pressure 1.01. Very interesting. Now your head armor is just a tiny bit light. This is decent head armor, but this feels like it's light to me. He did the shield placement for the double layer stacking of shield, small. This would actually perform much better than the other ones. We got the overclock mining lasers, we got a lot of little smaller lasers, we got the 3 disruptors on both sides, so 6. The only thing I see is this tiny little block of head armor, which is it just seems a little light. Right? Because if you do 2 of these guys versus this should perform pretty decently. He's got the 4 engine rooms, he's got the 2 in the middle and the 2 on the outer. He'll have this swing right here, see this quick swing? This is exactly what you want. And what I mean by it should technically perform a little better, the ion beam's not trying to do radial damage, these guys are just going to do single target, but if he blows this other ship up fast enough, now these guys have a chance to do single target damage again. protection wise. See, it goes for the wings first, which is these point defenses, because the AI doesn't know what it's thinking. It always targets the point defenses on the wings. That's why we put them on the wings. This is where I said the front armor just seems a tiny bit light. You get ripped up from there. This guy over here, he's still trying to do back damage. But because of all these different shields and their layer stacked, you see the AI is targeting each shield, and that's why they're not single targeting. And so the AI does silly things. It targets this shield, and it targets the next one that's more forward facing. It targets the next one back as this one's recovering. So Rakdos really has the shields layer stacked very well. Very, very interesting. Yep, I'm pretty sure Rakdos' ship is going to win, so we're going to skip past that. But it's really, really cool. I like that one, Lucky Loser. Thank you for showing that one. Oh, we finally got to Wayborn 9, the one that I saw in posts not too long ago. This is a Hawk MK2. This is the one I did want to look at. Now, this one is an Interceptor. Still work in progress. He said he has a newer version, a little bit more further down than I think he posted last night or this morning. That's the one I really wanted to look at. I like it. It's a cheap 30 crew mining laser looking diagonal facing Hawk with the thrust, the reverse thrust, and everything else on it. I like it. For a cheap little ship, that would work. That's a work in progress one he was saying. Alright, Rakdos built. There's this a missile boat. Okay, here we'll face it versus this. It's a missile boat with point defense. Do the missiles get stopped by the point defenses? They do. He's got just enough. 3 overclock point defenses. Just enough for just two missiles. Very interesting. Not enough speed on your missile boat. That and or... Yeah, he's going 86. He's going 86 backwards. But you see this interceptor that Wayborn 9 built. Definitely fast enough. It's a 2 manipulator beam support ship. Two manipulator beam? I see one. Oh, no, this ship. This is a 2 manipulator beam. Oh, it's a 2 manipulator beam support ship. This is not a missile boat. Not a small missile boat. This is a... Oh, that makes perfect sense. Right? So if you had this right ship, you had actually 2 for 12 crew, right? 24 crew right here. With 2 of these guys as a support ship. Yeah, this makes perfect sense. 2 manipulator beam support ship. With enough missiles, so with 2 of these guys. Is this enough? Yeah, see how the missiles are hitting from behind now? It makes sense. With just 2 missiles, you can do damage from odd angles when it's supported from 2 different sites. That makes sense. And then he has an EMP variant. Then some other one. It's a missile kite. Okay, so this one is supposed to be a support missile kite. Okay, lots of thrust forward, lots of thrust backwards. I like that. And then this one is... I just pulled up the same ship. One of them is supposed to be... One of them is supposed to be EMP. Heavy missile kite, support missile kite. Support heavy missile kite. That's why I didn't know what I'm looking at. So this one has the EMP. EMP is a support ship. Actually works very, very well. I don't tend to use them as often as we should. But if you are doing PvP or even if it's a normal game, EMP missiles can really disable ships as long as they live long enough, right? And this support ship, it's got the point defenses in the front, it's got the shield, it's got a tiny bit of armor. This will very likely live to get close enough to be effective as an EMP and or missile support. So I do like both of those. Alright, Waywar 9. We have a new version. This is the Hawk version 3 MK. When did you post this? Yeah, 3:37 a.m. Mountain my time. So it was this morning. This was posted this morning by Waywar 9. This is a high-speed assault interceptor, fast strike vessel built for flanking and pursuit. Alright. That means it's got to be tested that way. Let's just do 2 for right now. So, can you tank it long enough and can you flank it fast enough? He's got wonderfully layer stacked shields, as you can see. He's got the speed. You can see right here it does that movement. This is the exact movement you want. To go right behind, forcing the ship either to turn toward you or to get behind. It stays within combat range, even with the speed moving, however it's moving. It is tanking. It goes 98. Very, very nice. It is exactly what you want. You want it to go fast. You want it to be able to tank. You want it to be able to do damage. Did you have another mining laser right here? Did it just take out a mining laser? Yeah, they have 3. Okay, here's my 2 cents on this one, Waywar 9. Because this shield right here is behind this mining laser, the AI targets this shield and you lose a mining laser or you lose some of your damage. If you put the shield, see how you lost one laser here, you lost one laser here because you lost the shield. If you either move the shield a little bit more forward and or move its position, you won't lose one of the mining lasers, and then you can keep 3 mining lasers on it, keeping your damage. That would be the one suggestion I see off the top of my head, just looking at it. Move the shield forward 1 space or 2 spaces, just so you can keep this mining laser longer, and or move this mining laser somewhere else, so you can keep your damage. That's what I would suggest. Other than that, I like it. Yeah, I like it. 2 of them beat one of these ships. This is where 2 small ships, even though they are cheaper and less crew, they can take on a bigger ship. That's exactly what you want. I like this Hawk MK3. I like it enough that I am going to drag one into my test folder, number 6. Oh, why did I do that? Test folder number 6 is right there. There you go. Put a version in there. Put another version in here. Okay. We still have a few more ships. Mega Animation built another one. This is Megas Alpha. MLV 1.2. Oh, that's a lot of mining. It's got heat wave. It's got thermal on it now. It's got these eyeball things. Are those control rooms? I never noticed the control room on the outside has a little antenna on top. Anybody else notice that? Yeah, the control room on the outside has a little antenna on top. You know, in the actual in-game, this would probably do pretty decent. Right? If you face this versus, how much is that, 1.5? What does 2 of these do versus this? Because the mining lasers, well, it has a problem because the mining lasers are so close to each other, it's going to have a hard time firing over this other one. See how the mining lasers are hitting each other? But this right here. Just so you guys understand that my animation's triagonal monstrosity does really good burst damage, but then obviously you can see it doesn't have the way to refuel all those mining lasers very quickly, but it really did cripple this ship. Yeah, it crippled it. And if you had any way to restock all of these mining lasers in a faster way, it would probably destroy it. It's still going to destroy it with the upgrade with the thermal resonance lens. So out of all the versions that I've seen, this one, the one reason I'm testing this is because he has the thermal resonance lances that are still doing damage. He disabled the ship, and now it's I'm going to count that as a near win, basically. Eventually the heat's going to take over, and it's going to take over the ship. So that worked as what I was thinking it would do. Alright, Lucky Loser built another version of a something. I don't know what this is, but it's called a Spectre 103. It's kind of dark in the Discord channel. I don't know what I'm looking at just yet. Too much debris there. Ooh, a mining laser version. This is an interesting shield placement and frame placement. And very nicely painted. Very nice indeed. I think I've started a phenomenon with mining lasers and what they can do. I don't know if anybody else builds like this or any other channels does this, but you see this channel and what we build, we definitely have some very neat mining laser builds. I'm loving all these bubble shields on this thing and the protection on it. Huh. This is a neat ship. It moves 88 forward, he says, but isn't good at flanking. It's because he's using MRTs. MRTs have the great speed to move ships forward, but its turning and flanking are a little to be desired. Christopher Rogers said, laugh out loud, why kill your enemies when you can harvest them? That ML setup is right off my battleship. Alright. Really, really cool. Alright, made some improvements to Hawk V2. Oh, okay, here's a newer version. Okay, versus Hawk V3 then. 2 Hawk V4. There you go. 60 crew, 60 crew. Okay, so this is the new and improved version 2. You get to see what it can do. It can flank behind. Very nice. Exactly what it's supposed to do. It can tank. Took off its reverse thrust. So 2 of these smaller guys. It did really good, decent damage in the back. He's forcing the... Now the AI is being forced this way. Oh, no, we got too close to this one, so he didn't do it. This bubble shield's protecting very well. Interesting. V3 is going to very likely win unless they can put those fires out and do everything else they need. Oh no, I hear guys burning. Where's the fire extinguisher? Down here? Seems a little long for it to get there. I heard one guy burn. And then we're somehow disabled here. Is it still rotating this way? Alright, here's the same thing. So he's got the mining lasers in the front and he's got the shields in the back. Now, the goods and the bads to this. The goods is that you see he's living for a decent long time. The bads is he lost 2 mining lasers. But The sacrifice to the losing the damage or keeping your shield a little bit longer actually works on this interceptor, as you see. I'm gonna call this version MK V4 or version 2 with 454 actually a success. It's also got a manipulator beam on it too, so I love that you thought of that. We wore 9. Yeah, I know V3 is an upgrade to V2. I'm just showing 2 versus 1 because 2 costs almost the same amount as 1 V3, and it won. 2 of these guys won. I love the thought you put into there and what you built there. I like it enough. I'm going to also put that in a folder. I like it. Very nicely built. All right. Back to number 18. Mega Animation built a worm ship. You guys are just posting more ships as I'm live streaming, aren't you? Dragon Boss. This. Oh, wait, I just dragged it in. This is a worm. It is a worm. Okay, what's the hotkey? What's the hotkey for this? You don't have a hotkey for this Mega Animation. Control 1. Save this as this. Save ship design. You need to have a hotkey for that. Otherwise, no one's going to be able to do it fast enough, right? You should do 1.1. I come over here, 1.1. What am I looking at? So hit the number 1 key, we do Control Shift D. And come over here and then do 1 key, Control Shift D. And now we have a worm. It's got railguns in the front. Not deck cannons, large cannons, and what are these, missiles in the back? What an interesting worm. No hotkey because it's older than Meltdown Preview. Look at the worm work. Alright, how much does this cost? 4. Let's give this one a shot. 1. Control Shift D. Alright, they separate. The worm is free. That's the barrage. Okay, so the barrage missiles don't last versus all the point defenses on this one. The worm gets eaten in the front. This really is a cool ship, Lucky Loser. I like the ion beams on this. And all the cannons are now firing. The worm is being eaten by ion beams. Okay, the cannons are still firing, but you can see the shields are holding up and the point defenses are helping to hold, but it doesn't help this piece of armor got in the way of the point defenses. And now it's going to be ripped up with some because the point defense is recovered. That's a very interesting worm there, Mega Animation. Maybe swap the first cannon segment to missiles. I would like to see an ion beam worm. That can work. Obviously it's going to be bigger, but that would be kind of neat. Alright. The worm got eaten by ion beams. Alright, Rakdos built something else. What is this? Missile barrage. Missile barrage! Alright, there's too much debris. I'm assuming this is supposed to separate. What's the hotkey for this? Rakdos. I don't see a hotkey for the destruction thingies. There's no hotkey for this. And more than one? How many are there? One there. One there. Control one. Control Shift D. Alright. It separates and then locks. Oh, that's a really neat, cool locking mechanism. Wow. Now, obviously, you're supposed to fly forward, and then this little locking mechanism he has right here, it locked. And then see, this one comes over here and locks with the hinges. Really neat thought process. Hold on. Let's start these ships further apart. Take this. Take this. Shift D. Come over here. Take that. Take this. Shift D. Alright. Now they fly forward like this. That locks into place. That locks into place. And it becomes... Oh, that's not good when it was rammed into another ship, then all of a sudden these things come back into place. I don't know if you thought of that, but... Oh, now if they blow up the hinge, you lose your part. Not enough shield cover for that section. Really cool, though. I've never seen that before. There's engines at the tips of the arms that I can't make work. Oh, these engines right here. I'll just turn them always on. Right here, these engines. Okay, I see what he does. So, Rakudos said these engine rooms right here. So, in order to do that, you come over here, you turn off the AI, right? And you come over here, you take the hinge. And you take the hinge. This should be control 1. And then you take this thrust and you take this thrust. Control shift, and this should be control 2. And so what you should do is you come over here, you push number 1, you do control shift D. That blows it off. You do number 2, and then you come over here on this hotkey, control A, alt A. And what this does is it'll turn on these thrusts. See, like this, forcing them out like that. And then you can come over here with the 2, you can alt A them again, and it turns them off. Right? And now they're off, and now they're back in the problem. So you do alt A again and see how the thrust turns back on. And then once they're in position again, you do alt A again, turn them off, and then they'll stay in that position, see? Number 2, turn it off. Easier with that. So you stick them up, see? And now the wings are spread out. That's what he means by the engine rooms on the wings. So not only does it forces them to fold out, see, like this, and then whatever reason the AI is like saying, do something it shouldn't do. But now the wings are force spread out. So he thought of that. Really cool. I like it. And you can see once the wings are spread out, it really can do some missile damage. That's cool. I've not seen that before. That's a neat design. Thank you for sharing that, Rakudos. Alright, we have another one built by Wayworn 9. This is a PD shielded. Made more improvements based on Grand Admiral playthrough. Added more armor, manipulator beam, and can now eject items from the storage mod. Ooh. More armor, so you put more armor in the front with shields. I would just change this right here to armor. And yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's take this one and look at it in tests number 6. Put it in there. Look at that one later. Okay, he made another one. Here's a more armored variant of PD drone, also with shields. Did I scroll up? Wait a second. I must have clicked the wrong button. Must have went all the way back. I don't know what's going on. I'm here. Okay. I don't know what happened. It scrolled me up. Mega Animation. Alright. This next one that's on here is Mega Animation. The Mining Ball. Mining Ball. What? Mining Ball. It's got 6 lasers and it's a mining ball. Huh. 12 crew. Mining ball. Okay, hold on. Does the mining ball work? Ships are too far apart now. 800 is going to be good. Mining ball. Take one more mining ball. 3 mining balls. Versus these. Mega Animation's mining ball. That's cute. Yeah, let see, it's not living long enough. Frontal. This one's got heat. It's got 6 mining lasers. We are hitting from the weakest angle right here that they hit, right? He lost the large shield. But because this ship has reverse thrust, and Mega Animations doesn't, he lost 2, and he's going to lose a 3rd one too, and now we're going to have heating problems as well. Not really, I don't see any fires yet. But this ship won, and 3 of these guys did not. Cool idea, thank you for the mining ball build, Mega Animation. Alright, a flanking ship with ML, built by Lucky Loser. What is this? 4 overclocked fighter versus one of these. I would assume that these guys should win. There's 4. But what I don't see on this fighter Lucky Loser is I don't see a thermal resonance lens. So we're going to be able to flank. We're going to do 4 mining lasers. You see this MK, the V3. Oh no, we lost it right there. So there's your weak point right there. Wayworn 9. Right there. So this flank right here, you need some kind of protection right there. If somebody has enough speed and enough burst damage to get in that area, that is your weak point for your command point. So this Lucky Loser is a very nicely built flanking ship. 24. Obviously, the cost is way more, right? But that's the point. Isn't an effective flanker, and it is. So the control room right here. There's no armor protecting the control room, just this thruster. So literally, the only protection right here is that thruster. Granted, they may not always be lucky like that, but you can see there's no protection right here, so you need back armor in some form or fashion. But these guys are doing good damage, so he already lost the reactor. But this ship already lost the back battle right there. Cool. I like both of these ships. I do like Lucky Loser's version. This is what I've been looking for somebody to build. 24 crew with what he just built. So I want to come over here and to test. I do want to take Lucky Loser's ship and put it in there. Look at it more later. Alright, Mega Animation build. You guys are still posting more ships, aren't you? Mega Animation build. A heavy armor. Tech cannon. Okay, you just face this flanker and see what happens. No, not the same cost range. does have this. Even this is not the same costume. She's a little bit closer though. Alright. He needs 2 of these then. There you go. Alright. Mega Animation built this. Is this an octopus? Squid? Some kind of sea animal? Creature? Okay, I don't like that you see right here. You don't have the reversed or side thrusts on these ships. Mega Animation. And for whatever reason, you don't have heat plugged into your deck cannons. Alright, well, it failed because there's no heat plugged into the deck cannons. But it really looks neat. You need to plug in. You need to plug in the heat. And then just put the fire extinguishers on the outside for right now. 1.1. Alright. Where's this octopus? Squid. Sea creature. Alright. Try that again. So now we got the heat plugged in. I like this one single radiator, right? And then he's got the heat. And then he's got the thermal batteries. And then he's got the deck cannons going. But is it enough to defeat this one single ship? He's pounding away. The shields are semi-holding. You can see he ripped off a whole bunch of armor. Already losing this section. We lost all the piping to here. He took out both deck cannons, but you can see just because of the way it's built, you rip off both, and then okay, he disabled the ship, and now it's going for this one. We lost, and this is where on World War 9 ship, what I was saying, the shields in the back. He only lost 1 mining laser. He still has 3. So there's the goods and the bads. I kind of like these shields in the back. And the cockpit's just far enough away. He didn't lose the ship at all. He lost this whole section of the shields. But look, the ship's still going. That is a good design. To lose a section of your ship and still keep going. I honestly thought these sea creatures, after we modified it, would have probably have won, but for it to have lived, right? More crew, almost same cost. That's a pretty good ship. Obviously Mega Animations doesn't have the flanking ability, it doesn't have the reverse thrust or the side thrust to get behind. But if the ships stay in the front, they're pretty good. Alright, Lucky Loser made an updated version of what is this? 152 deck cannon 149. Let me fully face this versus something else. Lucky Loser made here, we'll do this. 2 of these deck cannon ships versus 1 of your Lucky Loser ion beams. How does this work? Crew wise is going to be way more expensive, right? 304, but cost wise 2 million to almost 2 million. I would assume the deck cannon should win. If the ion beams win, I will be more than shocked. Because the deck cannons, you can see we have a thermal resonance lance, we have 6 deck cannons, overclock deck cannons on them. Yeah, you see right there, the deck cannons have that piercing, exploding damage that took off the head armor. I'm just wondering how fast these deck cannons fly. How fast does this fly? We're gonna take one and turn the AI off and totally take it. Yeah, these deck cannon ones for 6 deck cannons. And they're flying pretty decent. But my concern here is here, we're gonna repair one and then take one and fly it. So come over here, take the AI, turn the AI off. I wanna see how fast they fly. How fast does this fly, Lucky Loser? Okay, so it turned kind of slow. It goes 50, 60, 65, very slow, 65.6, and you can see the engine room's cut out every now and then. Really, really cool in PvP. Not going to be super duper effective in the actual game when you get to the higher levels. Early game, mid game, it's fine at those speeds. Late game, this is not enough speed. You would have problems for sure if playing on a higher setting. If you're playing the game on normal, this speed and whatnot should still probably be okay. Cosmoteer on normal is not that difficult. Or maybe I just haven't played normal in a very long time. But... Or maybe because I'm just a freak and I always play it on Grand Admiral. So I don't know the difference. Alright. The heat shooter. This is built by Mega Animation. This has a lot of heat. We don't have any reverse thrust on this either. We already have fires. You already have a fire. Oh, that's because this other one's shooting heat too. But there's fires. You should have a fire extinguisher at the front of the ship. I don't know where they're getting the fire extinguishers from, but it's not fast enough. Huh. That'd be interesting. Right? More than one of these heat versus heat shooter. More than one heat shooter, 3 heat shooters versus something like this cool ion beam ship. Can't get enough of it. I would love to see it perform even better. I just don't. I don't know how. This is why we didn't do ion beams in full. Ion beams have to be exposed. And out of all the ion beam ships, this was a cool one, but the damage you would take on Grand Admiral from all these ion beams being lost would be tremendous. Okay, so you see right here. This is the catching, making the ships useless thing. Especially with no side thrusts. And the ion beams rips apart these thermal missile ones like it's nothing. Plus we have a lot of point defense. I really like his point defense layer stacking. So I've seen a lot of point defenses built on diagonal facing ships. And out of all of them, I like this idea. He's got one wing and he's got a second wing. One wing, second wing. You don't see a forward facing. You don't see that as often. You see one wing forward facing, the other ones are backward facing. He's got forward facing, and then back facing back here, and then he's got a little bit more coverage back here based on what I'm assuming that idea from all the different ship edits that I've done, but I don't know. He could have got it from his own. Anyways, a lucky loser built another one. What is this? Oh, my game's having problems now. Let's go to folder number 19. You guys just keep posting ships. Folder number 19. There you go. Lucky loser. I don't know what this is, but it's got stuff on it. So let's face it versus wonderful ion beam one again. Ooh. Now that's neat. Overclocked heavy lasers. With a thermal resonance lens in the middle. The bridge is nicely protected in the back middle. Do you have any disruptors on this thing? Lucky Loser says this is a ship prototype. Okay, the ion beam, in my own personal opinion, I think is doing better than the overclocked heavy lasers. But the head armor right here you see is getting ripped apart. So maybe something needs to be changed on the head armor or head shield armor for this ion beam one. Obviously these are pretty decently protected, the ion beams. And it's also, and I don't see any disruptors on this heavy laser one. Like if he had just literally 2 or 4 disruptors on the ship, the heavy laser one would probably have already won by now. Yeah, now the AI's deciding to fire at the point defenses for no good reason. But he's already exposed, so if the AI was just to shoot right here, blow up this reactor, cripple the ship even more. But it's having problems because of the angles of whatever, and then whatever the AI is targeting. Not this. Just targeting the crystal. You can see there. It finally targeted that, and then it's just target right here and blow this up. That ship would be gone. Still, because it's angled and kind of interesting, it looks very interesting. Wayworn 9 says the Hawk is very weak in the rear. Someone was too fast to post a ship to the channel. People have been posting. Very cool. I like this idea. Obviously a prototype, you need a little bit more work on it. What is this? Mega 19? I dig it 19. This was built by Mega Animation. This is a nuke ship. The only way to test the nuke ship is to test it versus something else. Let's test it versus two of these guys. Nukes. This is just a nuke. He's got a nuke factory in it. He's got large shields on it. Oh, look at how much damage was done to the ship. If they could reload, they can't reload very quickly. Yeah, that's a decent amount of damage, right? If you were to take 3 of these guys. Alright, let's see how this launches. I wasn't watching that part. So they come over here. They launch all their nukes. They ran into each other. That's a big problem. And the 8 is front armor. If his reload time is just something to be desired, though. Okay, fired off another nuke or so. They did decent damage. 3 versus 1 of these. That's actually not a bad idea, right? Build a nuke factory in the thing. If you just had... Here, this is my thought process, Mega Animation. If you just had a nuke storage, so you see how there's no nukes already ready? If you just had a few nukes already ready storage here, so the factory constantly produces and put nukes into the storage and then pushes out, the reload would be just a little bit faster. Not just coming straight from here. Now I get it because the start of the battle there's nothing in it. But you see they come out, but if there's something already ready, and then you have guys directly made for loaders, because you see these guys are walking away for whatever. I don't know what they're doing. You need to change ship priorities on that one. Lucky Loser built another one. What is this? AD ML something. Faces this. I can't get enough of this one. Ion beams. Ion beams win. I was made and built in battle. I had limited time and money. Understood. Made in battle. That must be a different type of YouTube or something kind of channel I've never seen. That's interesting. The pointed armor, this seems a little on the lighter side for the pointed armor. Lots of shields still. He's got 4 mining lasers, a thermal resonance lance, decent speed. It's very pointy. It's not wide, but it's very pointy. Now the bigger question is, we go to times 4 speed. If the ion beams win, the ion beams is... This is the only thing right here. The head armor. We just don't have enough. Yes, it's still one because it's more expensive, right? And it has more crew. But the head armor is either light or we need some shields facing inward. See, he has all the shields facing outward. But we have no shields facing here to protect this. That's the only thing missing from this Lucky Loser. All this I like. The head armor, we're missing shields and something facing in the front. Didn't post it here. This is okay. We've already seen this one, Demonic Speed. We saw this in No Pause Admiral Engage 2026. The wings on this make it something that is a maybe. I like the original design still more because it guarantees can work and catch. The wings on this, it makes it a little hard to fly around, especially with no reverse or side thrust on this thing. So it makes it a little bit harder on that one, but it's pretty cool. Lucky Loser built to put another one in here. Inquisition 1. What is this? Interesting pointy armor. So it's very interesting what people do to the head armor to change it. Now pointy head armor can work, but the head armor needs to serve a purpose to protect, and it is. This one you can see is protecting this, and then the AI is shooting at, what is the AI shooting at first? The side things, whatever was on the side. Do we have any disruptors in here? Okay, we do. Disruptors were decently protected. I can see the pointy armor is protecting that shield in a very weird, different type of way. Huh. I guess that pointy does work. This is an interesting armor in the back. Does that work? This big square? Big square, big square, big square? Does that really work that way? I would space this out and have some armor like in between and then have little space so you have a little bit more. It looks cool though. Looks cool. Alright. Big sands that can move. That's built by Mega Animation. Experimental Rakdos built another some kind of what? It won't let me load it in. Is an import recording ship unable to find nodes in path parts. Rakdos, whatever you posted, it won't go. Lucky Loser built a big carrier. Number 1. Whoa. That's an interesting paint design. You don't see that every day. You don't see that every day. They're frames. Okay, sands got blown up. This is sands that can move. Built by Mega Animation. Cool. That's definitely interesting. Okay, the next one. Why is this thing overwrite something? This was built by Mega Animation. Another name got corrupted. This is cannon and thermal resonance lens. Another one of these egg round shaped things. I like this armor placement, right? Space out the radiators, space out the radiators, and have armor in between. Helps protect the back. Cuts right down the middle. Pretty quickly. That's neat. What else we have? This is a weird thing I found too. What is this? Mega Animation? So you say which one of these? What is this? Oh. A large shield overclocked. A small shield not overclocked. Or is it overclocked? No, not overclocked. Okay. Weird indeed. They went for the small shield and then blew up this one. This small shield, they would assume it would go for the larger shield, but the deck cannons seem to target this shield, and the explosive damage is what takes out the control room. It would work against other things, but deck cannons, you can see, it blows it up. Here's a small drone built by Lucky Loser. He uses just posting things to keep the stream going, huh? 2ML 12 drone. That's a clockwise. The weird thing looks like an orbiter, clockwise orbiter. Probably just wouldn't fly that way. What is this? It's interesting how the armor fell off on purpose. Now we have heat concerns. Huh. Interesting. For 12 drone, wait. I think we have better 12 drones. What if I even remember? Even this Hawk, the 1.61. No, the 1.61 is not going to do it because the mining lasers. He's got overclock mining lasers. I'm wrong. But if you had two of these guys, right? Versus 12 crew versus 4 crew ones. How does it do? It is interesting armor. Thought, oh, it's a bubble shield. What an interesting thought on this. So here's the... He's got good protection in the black on this for this drone. So the mine lasers defeated that one. And then because of the speed alone on that ship, because the overclock thrusters, and the bubble shield still protects here. Yeah, better than I was anticipating. This is a very interesting 12 crew drone. Lucky loser. It's got decent turn, decent speed, and decent protection. And the point defense is even here too. Huh. That's a different type of drone. I like it. Community 19 drone. Put it in here. Look at that some more later. What is this? An old ship I made time ago. This was built by Lucky Loser. A Polar 4.06. What is this? What am I looking at? Oh! Light flashing! Wow. How much was this? 1.4? Can you beat your ion ship with this one? Let's get some reactors right here. Shouldn't the small reactor be behind and the power capacitor be up front? Oh, the power capacitor is for the shields. No, he has it right. Small reactor up front to provide just a single for the lasers. Shields get protected by the power capacitor. But it doesn't do enough damage to this amazing ion beam ship. Still, it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. I really like this ion beam ship. And obviously the AI doesn't know what it's targeting, right? If you were controlling the ship and you single target exactly what you want, you could eat through and do some pretty devastating damage with the overclock ion beam ship. Alright, since we were talking about nuke factory layouts, Rakdos built the hinge nuke. This hinge nuke thingy. Holy cow, 6 million to make this thing? Okay, he did put the thingy to Control Shift D. And he did that. Now come over here and turn this on. Oh, they're not working. AI doesn't like it. Whatever. I just wanted to do its thingy. Nukes and nukes and more nukes. Oh wait, where's nukes on this thing? Okay, there's nukes. Nukes are there. It's nukes and I thought it was just all nukes, but it's got nukes and missiles. Obviously, if you have the resources in the game and you can spend 6 million to build one of these things, and then obviously fill it up with materials. But I think your 6 million nuke boat is getting destroyed by the battleship budget. I mean, it's sustaining heavy damage. Now, if the nuke missile boat is still gonna go, look, it has so much more ammo with factories and everything. And then one piece breaks off, and it's still gonna keep firing. Here, I'll speed this up. ×4. Yeah, he's losing right there. He lost the back. And then even though the ship's separated, it took it out. 6 million though, and you lost a lot to get there. Alright. This is Lucky Loser built a pre-meltdown Lancelot. Lancelot AB. What is this? What kind of paint job is that? A pre-meltdown ion ship. That's a lot of large reactors in one area. Okay, is it just me, or is there literally a no armor right here and this little triangle and then the reactor boom? Some plans to give the enemy like what happens when this goes kaboom? What does it take out? It chain reacts! What about this one? Does it chain react too? Yeah, they chain react. So, anyways, I just wanted to see that. Really cool, Lucky Loser, but you lose this reactor, which is just literally a couple shots here and a couple shots there, and boom, this one reactor takes out all three. That's not a safe thing to do. Someone plans to give the enemy... Yeah. But it's still, I love this paint job. Pretty neat. It's an interesting. Did a Lancelot have Achilles' heel? I don't know. Megan Ashford says this one he has no idea why he has it saved. That's just gonna heat up. Probably just an idea, a concept. An old mining ship made in Kansandai. Salvage ship. What is this? Oh, it's a sun diving ship. That's kind of cool. The tractor beams. You can pull the asteroid out. That's pretty good. It's not bad at all. I really like this layer stacking of shields. He's got the large shield, right? He's got the small shield that's overclocked the layer stack this way. Another small shield right here to overclock the layer stack this way. I like the layer stacking in the front there. That's cool. Bubble capability, really neat. Mega Animation just built this. Oh no, it's gonna unwrite. It's gonna unwrite this other one. There's another nuke ship. He's got forward and backwards thrust now. Just made it in build in battle round 1. Huh. I see. Interesting. For 300,000 40 crew. Another ion ship pre-meltdown. This is Caesar compared to... Where did it go? Better put it somewhere else. Oh, Lancelot. It's just not purple for whatever reason. Purple on the outside because of all the headlights, but not purple when you're looking for it. So I didn't know what I was looking for. This is a Caesar built by Lucky Loser. Wow. How does this hold up against the Kevin? Obviously, it's well protected on the outside like this. And it can easily just pierce through the middle like that. Is this enough shields for Kevin? Okay, you can see Caesar wins versus Lancelot. But what I want to know... And I have no idea where Kevin is. Oh, there's a siphon. Here, we'll do it against a siphon. We'll go to times 4 speed. Okay, so siphon wins. Chain guns. So he doesn't just have the ion beams. He's got ion beams and thermal resonance sets and chain guns. Now, obviously, Lucky Losers is built pre-meltdown, right? This doesn't have any overclocked weapons on it. Where the siphon does have overclocked weapons on it. And more crew. With the chain guns, with the thermal resonance lens. That's why I can pound through so quickly. Alright. Number 19. Krakodos built a solar flare, 7 million. Let's clear some of these objects here real quick. Whoa. That's like a maze. Very interesting with the layout of the ion beams in there. $7 million. Wow. Huh. I've not seen one of these before. But that is interesting. That would work in the game. That would work in a lot of things, honestly. You'd rip through... Alright. Here's the real question. Can you beat the almighty Orion? It has to be able to for its cost. If you don't, then there's something wrong. So you see, the nice thing is he can angle the ship and it can go with the almighty Orion. Yeah, he's piercing through the Orion. Alright, he got the Orion. Yep. Solar flare, pretty cool. Alright, my ship's 2026 community. 19. Another old guy built by Lucky Loser, Jupiter A6. These are some pretty big ion ships, man. 3 battleships versus a solar flare, Rakido said. You test that. Look at this paint job. Whoa. That's a lot of armor up front. Interesting nuke bays too. Huh. Here we go, times 4 speed. Weird AI placement for sure. It's trying to do. It's trying to do broadsides. I don't think the ship is supposed to be a broadside ship. AI having no idea what it wants to do. Tons of armor, as you can see. Tons and tons and tons of it. Alright, we'll do that one last test that Rakidos was saying. Let's come over here, and where's the solar flare? Versus, I'm pretty sure 3 of these guys would win. There's no reason why they wouldn't. Even 3, 3 is already over the cost. You should just do 2. 2 is a more closer to this. Obviously not the same budget, but because the thing about ion beams is, yeah, they hit. You see how they're drilling through, but see, the AI gets tricked for whatever reason. Now it's trying to go back and forth between each other while the damage is still being done. Yeah, the AI doesn't know what it's doing. If it was a player-controlled solar, it would stand a semi chance. And then, well, I don't know what this battleship's doing. Look, it's over here lollygagging. But already with just 2 of them, 3 of them would have been overkill. It's very interesting. It's still going with all those crystals. And then this ship right here is still lollygagging for whatever reason. It's not even getting into fire range. It's just using its heat weapon. Yeah, 2 is plenty. He only lost the frontal head armor on the ship. Almost went all the way to the reactor. But that's also because of the AI, right? Anyways, we don't need to watch all that. It's going to win. Alright, we'll go these last 2 ships that Mega Animation put in. He's got a nuke thingy. And he's got another nuke thingy. And we'll go from there. So if you enjoyed this content, please feel free to hit the like button. Helps me out a ton. Let's push out this content to other people, bring awareness to it. If you like, please feel free to leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, especially what you don't like so that I can improve, make better content. If you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, and that's okay as well, come back once a week, once a month, check out what content I have. Thank you all for being here, thank you all for watching. You all have a wonderful rest of your day.